You Bet rolls on Westwood One Sports, presented by BetMGM with me, Nick Kostos, an NFL quarterback. Can you set the record straight? I've been calling you Tyrod Taylor for basically your entire career. I want to pronounce your name correctly.
Yeah.
What is the correct pronunciation of your first name?
Tyrod.
Tyrod Taylor.
Yep.
Tyrod.
Either one. That works too.
Tyrod Taylor joining us here on the show. Man, unbelievable NFL career, man. Congratulations.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Going to be a free agent this year. What
Yeah.
are you looking for this offseason?
To be honest, just the right situation. Whether it's back at the Jets, I know that I'm capable of doing on the field, but also understand when you have a vet in the room, being able to help mentor and bring along a young guy as well too. That goes with being a veteran in this league, and I embrace both roles and just looking for the right situation.
What went wrong this season for the New York Jets?
I can't pinpoint one thing. Obviously, when you have shifting of a culture, new regime, there's going to be some pain, some growing pains with that. I do believe that Coach Aaron Glenn is the coach to change things around with the Jets and shift the culture. And I just think that everything doesn't happen right away. It's time. It's time that's going to help. And I think that this past season was just something to learn from it.
I want to tell you what a lot of people are saying right now and give you a chance as someone that's in that locker room to refute it a little bit, right? So Coach Glenn has basically fired the entire coaching staff, right? You guys are going to have a new defense. If you go back to the team, have a new defensive coordinator, have a new offensive coordinator, basically turned over the entire staff. And a lot of people are saying, fans, media, etc., if that was going to be the case, then why not just fire Aaron Glenn and bring in a new coaching staff? You think he's the right guy for the job. What do you say to the people that will make the case, if you're going to fire the whole coaching staff, why not just start over from scratch?
Yeah, I don't make those decisions. At the end of the day, my job is to go in, be ready to play, and help lead a team. And I think that I've done that. I would say that it's not my job to answer that for those fans. I understand those remarks, but at the same time, it's about trying to do his best for the team. And I think that Coach Glenn and I think that Mood's just doing the right things to move the team in the right direction that they see fit to have success in New York.
Do you see AD? Because I do, and I say it on the show all the time. I loved AD Mitchell with Indianapolis.
Me too.
Now, he had the play where he fumbled the ball out of the end zone, with Indianapolis, goes in the doghouse from there. And I said, when you guys made the trade and sent Sauce to Indianapolis and AD Mitchell came over, I was like, they got AD Mitchell also in this trade? I kind of see him as being a great number two for Garrett moving forward. Do you see that out of AD Mitchell?
I do. AD has a ton of talent and has a high ceiling. I think that we just seen a version or a small snippet of it last year. I think that as he continued to play in this league and get reps, he'll continue to keep growing as a playmaker. And I think he complements Garrett very well in the receiving group.
You bet on this Friday. Tyrod Taylor, NFL quarterback, joining me here on the show. I think something that is forgotten about, kind of, right? Because everyone associates Sean McDermott with Josh Allen, is that you led the Bills to the playoffs before Josh Allen was even there. And, you were part of the turnaround of the culture in Buffalo, which is not to take away from what Josh has done, but I don't think people kind of bring that up enough and talk about that enough. You started a playoff game for the Buffalo Bills. Were you surprised that they fired Sean McDermott?
Yeah, that did actually surprise me. But I've also been in this long enough to know that everything doesn't have a rhyme or reason. Ownership makes decision based off where they see the team, the direction that they see the team going. And I know Coach McDermott understands that and knows that as well too. Whether he coaches this year or next year or whatever he chooses to do next, he is the right person, and the type of person that he is and the mindset that he takes in to work each day, he'll have success wherever he goes.
What do you remember most about that year?
There was a ton. Our whole team had changed from the previous year. I lost a lot of receivers due to free agency, but I think that just the team came together. We battled some injuries at the wide receiver position and just overall as a team, but we never wavered in faith, and we stuck together and was able to turn things around and end a 17-year drought.
The video gets posted every year. of Andy Dalton hitting Tyler Boyd with that touchdown to
Yeah.
beat the Ravens and send you guys to the playoffs. That locker room eruption
Yep.
is one of I'm getting chills right now thinking about watching it. You were there. Can you take us inside that locker room?
Yeah, we had to go down and beat Miami, and we did our part. And as soon as the game was over,
and for people that don't remember, like the Bengals were big underdogs in that game against Baltimore.
Yeah, no, they were. Like I said, we had to beat Miami. We went in and beat Miami. The game, we're playing a game in the Jumbotron. We watched a little bit of the outside and then rushed into the locker room to finish watching that game before we headed to the bus. But yeah, just that feeling. 17 years. There was obviously some guys that had been around for a lot of those or previous years. The guys like Kyle Williams, who had been through a lot of.
He was a stud, man. Defensive tackle.
Big player, big playmaker for us, big leader for us. But also had been through a lot of the down years. And to see guys like him, other guys that have been part of that organization, to see 17 years of that come to a halt, and for us to get into the playoffs was big for us. It was also, I mean, like you said, McDermott's first year, and they've had success since then. So just a tremendous feeling and something to hold on to, something I'll never forget. Also, that was also New Year's Eve, 12 o'clock hit as we were on the plane going back to Buffalo, and I remember landing in Buffalo, and it was probably about 5,000 fans at the airport, awesome. Snow everywhere, and just welcoming us back home. So that was awesome.
Who's going to win the Super Bowl, Seahawks or Patriots, and why?
I don't know. I'm not big at predicting. I do believe that it's a great matchup.
Can I ask you a different question?
Yeah.
Someone, Jets play the Patriots twice a year. If you're in the Seattle coaching room and you're trying to figure out how can we beat this defense, and what do you think the avenue for Seattle is going to be offensively versus New England's defense? And it's a really good defense, but how do you think they could maybe take advantage of something in New England's defense?
I think you got to go and look at the success that Denver and Houston had as far as frustrating or trying to frustrate Drake and forcing them to get the ball out fast, not allowing them to hold it. Both of those teams done a good job of attacking the passer with their rush, four-man rush. I mean, obviously they got a ton of talent outside wide receivers. If he gets into a rhythm and gets the ball out of his hands, it could be a long day for Seattle. But don't allow their run game to get going and try to create as much pressure with four men as possible.
So you guys have, for people just listening on the radio and not watching the show, shame on you first. Second off, they have these great shirts, courtesy of our friends at Dairy Queen. We'll talk about that in a second. The shirts say Taylor and Swift, and it's Tyrod Taylor and DeAndre Swift next to each other for the Taylor Swift halftime show. Tell us about what you have going on with our friends at Dairy Queen.
Yeah, so partner with DQ for the Taylor and Swift halftime feast.
I love it.
The DQ chicken strip platters. Comes with the flamethrower chicken strips as well as the original, or you can get either or both. Sets of 25, 50, 75, and 100. Multiple different sauces, but if you're going with the flamethrower ones, the new spicy flamethrower chicken strips, then I suggest to get the DQ signature soft serve.
Or
it's
Blizzard,
different.
Man.
Or Blizzard.
I want that Blizzard. You're playing next year?
Yes.
Can't wait to see you back on the field.
I appreciate
it. Jet next year?
We'll see. God has that plan.
That's a really good political answer. Tyrod Taylor joining us here on You Bet. Appreciate it, my man.
Say that one more time.
Tyrod Taylor, just appreciate you joining the show.
Oh, no problem. Appreciate you.
We'll be back on the other side.
Thank you.